Okay, so I did some data mining and figured I should make an addendum to my quickest arms race farms video. So the contents of that video were basically based on my experiences through like the 30 hours of hunt arms race runs I've done, collecting every single arms race item multiple times, multiple different runs. But now I've done data mining, so I can explain to you why what I said in that video is correct. So first thing, like the main point of that video was rush. Go as quickly as you can to the chest room, then down yourself and go rush back to it. So after doing the data mining, it's actually in the sheet, I can't show you, the time you spend in arms race is basically useless. It only impacts the random world drop items you get from red chests, white chests, and when you kill enemies. It does not impact vendors, it does not impact your chest room rates, it does not impact the chance of getting an arms race legendary from a random enemy. So if you spend a lot of time, you are more likely to get, say, a Hellwalker from an enemy, but you aren't more likely to get a Tiggy. All it does is those random world drops. Next thing, Mayhem. I think I briefly touched on it, but basically this number here is a multiplier based on your Mayhem level. You can see at Mayhem 10 you have 1.5 times the rates of Mayhem 1. Because of how this gets used in formulas, it doesn't always line up exactly like that, but you don't need to worry about that too much. Just Mayhem 10 is good, you have more rates, and if you watch the video you should see I did the entire thing on Mayhem 10. You can use your random starting white gear to go rush to a chest room and clear it at Mayhem 10 with no problems. It just ups your odds by 1.5 times, and you get better gear out of it since you'll extract Mayhem 10 gear. The next thing to point out, I strongly suspected this, but I've confirmed now, class mods are character weighted. So this is a thing they do for the regular non-uniques, but Arms Race is the only place where they also apply it to uniques, I believe. Where basically, the game gives you more class mods of the characters which are currently in your game. So if you're playing Zane, you're more likely to see Zane class mods and less likely to see Flak ones. And so this has two sort of impacts. Let's go over here. If you're farming the damn WTF chest room, if you want an Eternal Flame, if you don't have a Mose, there's no on-character, there's no Mose, and only one person's playing, this comes out to a weighting of 0.15, and weights are basically raffle tickets, so the chance is you add all of these up, and then divide 0.15 by 3.15 to get 4%, versus the 30% for the other drops. So if you do play Mose, suddenly we get even weightings, and it's 25%, you've 5 times more likely in this case to get one if you're on Mose. But the flip side to this, if I wanted a kick charger and not a flame, now I'm only got a 7.5% total chance, or I guess 14% total chance because there are 2 chests. Whereas if you're not playing Mose, that jumps up to an 18% chance. So in making the comms more common by playing that character, you actually make the other items slightly rarer. So if you can choose characters, for comms, play that character, for other items in the same chest, play a different character. And then the last thing to point out is just the general rates here. I've been talking with Levin from Loot Lemon, who's putting these rates up on the site, so browse there, don't bother with the sheet, I won't be linking it, but basically you can see the individual chest rooms here. They all tend to be around 20 to 40%. It depends a bit on exactly how many spawns there are, because for something like this chest, there are 4 spots in each of the 2 chests where the guns can spawn, so you have a total 33% chance to get at least one of these items. But 20 to 40-ish% to get an item. If we go look at Harker, 6%. So that's a big difference. You're, what is that, 5 times more likely, on average, to get an item by farming its dedicated chest room than you are by Harker. The difference is, and I did actually recommend this in the video, if you just want any item, Harker is really good. Harker is always, he's guaranteed to drop one Armor's Race item. It'll just be one of the 24 randomly, but he will always drop at least one. Whereas if you go to a chest room, there's only 17% chance, only 10%, 17 again, 17, 10. Okay, it really likes reading its numbers, but there's a pretty low chance per chest that you actually get a legendary. Harker will always give you at least one. And he, in fact, he also actually has 2 extra rolls, which at Mayhem 10 they end up being 15%. So you get up to 3 legendaries from Harker at a time, which is really good if you just want anything. But if you're going for a specific gun, always better to go for that one chest room.